On my previous video, you may remember seeing this hood mount, hinge mount here bent during the accident. What happened is the hood got hit from this direction, and then that impact then transmitted that energy into this bracket here and bent the bracket up. So what I was going to do is it tore one spot weld out. There's 6 total spot welds around here. What I was going to do is I was going to push it back down and just spot weld it or plug weld it back in. But I noticed that most of this sheet metal had some damage too, so I thought, well, the bracket was bent and this panel was bent too and damaged, so I thought, why don't I just remove all the spot welds with a Blair spot weld remover and then plug weld it. And then, so that was my plan, was I was going to do that, remove the spot welds on the plate here, and then try to straighten out this panel. Well, that became a little bit more difficult than I thought, and I thought I could use a dent puller, and I thought maybe I could weld some studs on here and then use a dent puller. Tried hammering on the bottom of it because I've got an axis hold to get underneath it. And I thought, well, you know what might actually be better is that we could put a backing plate on the back, like a tap plate, and put bolts through it. So that was my plan right now, is I drilled all the holes out because there were spot welds, and I drilled all the spot welds in the mating panel here, and then I took some time and came up with a tap plate that would be mounted underneath with 6 holes that are tapped for 5/16-18. I'll mount this on the bottom, we'll put bolts through it, and that should draw this tight between the plate and this mounting tap plate, and then that should flatten this all out, and then it'll be a really strong hinge mount. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to just mount this plate on the bottom and draw some bolts in using just some scrap bolts, not the final bolts, but I'll just see how this goes, and hopefully that'll draw everything in here. We got the tap plate, got the bracket with the holes cut out. I'm gonna go and put through this axis hole here, put the tap plate through. I haven't done this yet, so it may be an interesting little project here. All the holes line up on the bottom. Mount this on here. Should probably get my bolts here first. A couple bolts here. Again, these aren't going to be the final bolts. I'm just using these to help draw the panel in. Everything seems to be lining up pretty good here. Actually, I'm going to put this bolt, the smaller flange head over here. Use these guys in the corners with the big washers to help displace that load out. Maybe it'll draw it in. This one here. And this guy here. And I'll thread it in nicely. That's cool. A lot of the damage is in this corner here. When that got hit, it pushed that back. Didn't draw it in like I thought it would. A lot better than it was. I might give it a couple wraps on this face here. Maybe it'll bring it up too. You can see that's the plan there though. Bolt these guys in. Just wrap on this, see if I can get this. Definitely pretty rigid, that's for sure. Pretty stiff. Still damaged been back here though. It's not. It didn't pull it up like I thought it would. It's a lot better than it was. Yeah, it's coming out. Huh. Looks like it might work. Let's see, it's a little less damage. Well, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this all apart, clean this all up, paint them, and then reassemble it with the final bolts, and then that should finish that part of the project.